For the most realistic steering system available on the market, look no further than Sim Steering from Leo Bodnar. Designed and hand-built at the home of British Motorsport's Silverstone circuit, it's extensively used by professional driver training centres and race teams including Formula 1 since 2010. The high precision and completely linear response coupled with high strength provides the ultimate in realistic steering force feedback. Visit simsteering.com.
What is so important about driving faster than anyone else?
A lot of people go through life doing things badly. Racing's important to men who do it well. When you're racing, it's life. Anything that happens before or after, it's just waiting.
Good afternoon and welcome to Apex Racing TV. Alex Simpson, Brenton O'Brien here for another round of the PitTalkAsia.com GT Simulator Series. We are at Virginia International Raceway, the full course famous Oak Tree, still in existence at iRacing. Unfortunately blew down earlier this year, but the guys are going to have that tricky corner to deal with today, Brenton. Amongst the rest, Virginia not known as the easiest of tracks for the drivers. Yeah, what are we expecting to see today?
Well, we're expecting to see Charles Sierra and Marcus Lenderman just shadowing each other like they have been in qualifying so far, and good afternoon to you. Yeah, Lenderman already, and we've got 5 minutes to go on qualifying here at VIR. Lenderman showing some outstanding pace, 7/10 up on our first Corvette of Stephen Bouquet, who was the race winner, overall winner of our last 2 rounds. Charles Sierra 3rd place, at Tobias Cherney in 4th place, Marcus Mung in 5th at the moment. We'll go through those later on, but 22 stars, disappointing field it must be said. But it's a track I know you love and you've done well in the F1s, and I remember a replay not so long ago with that tree and all the F1s coming up to that corner and just smashing into that wall just all day it seemed to go. So very technical, tricky course, and no doubt you know more about that than I do.
Yeah, I think the nature of the beast, you need to brake and steer through there, and it's very easy to get a lock up, and the runoff area is so minuscule there. So I expect we'll see a few corners, a few drivers into that corner and into those tyres throughout this race. So 30 laps as usual here, perhaps a slight little bit longer race than normal for the guys. I'm wondering if that's put them off, but yeah, the circuit definitely is punishing, but once you get into a rhythm with it, I think it can be quite rewarding.
Yeah, it's just a good mixture of the slow and the fast turns. As we see Lenderman going off here just in front of me, and again Charles was right behind him, and Charles has opened up a 28-point lead in the championship as a result of a great comeback drive last week at Watkins Glen. We saw that from way down the grid after the calamity on the first corner. He worked his way up to 6th place. So yeah, he's opened up a bit of a lead now, and there's still a long way to go in the championship, but too many more unnecessary mistakes.
Yeah, colossal crash actually at Watkins. Obviously you saw it firsthand. The first time I saw it was last night when we did the post-race show. They want to avoid something like that happening again, and definitely seems to be a bit of a theme with the Corvettes and the cold tyres, so I guess they're going to be particularly careful in this one. It's 2 races in a row that they've suffered with quite a lot, and sort of cause mayhem here, there and everywhere. So yeah, let's keep an eye out for that at the start of this one. And I think we called it at the end of the race and just said they're going to just have to tippy-toe around and just give places away to the GT3 class, and then come back at them as the race progresses.
I think the big difference here in comparison with the last 2 weeks, especially at Watkins, is that look at the runoff available here. Everywhere you go, it's like a cricket oval next to it, isn't it? It's just huge. So, you know, if Corvette makes some mistakes and goes off track today, you can't see him getting in anyone else's way unless they go off with them as well. Especially in turn 1, it's almost impossible to pull that car up. Once you get on that grass, the next thing you'll be introducing yourselves to is the wall.
Yeah, we do see a lot of that here at Virginia actually, where drivers just overcook it, and then the grass just seems to be slippier here than anywhere. But I think mainly that's because the track is slightly elevated, so when you go into the runoff areas you are pretty much going downhill no matter where you come off. And yeah, typically it is one-way ticket to a one-way ticket even to the tyre walls. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on how drivers take this race. I think there'll be a few of them taking it a little bit easier than normal, just to make sure that they keep all 4 wheels on the black stuff and don't end their race early.
Yeah, well, that's right, and I think pit strategy is going to come into play here as well. Long race, and this is going to be a heavy fuel burning track, I would imagine, and that couple of long straights as well. So, yeah, it's going to come down to who can conserve their fuel the best. I'll be honest with you, my normal informant's not racing tonight, so I haven't had a chance to do my homework in regards to how many pit stops they might need, but they might need to. I guess we'll know early as to, you know, by about lap 10 as to what we're going to be doing. But what have we got? Just a minute 20 to go in qualifying here, and Marcus Lenneman still holds a convincing, oh actually sorry, no, not that convincing now, a provisional pole 44.793, just in front of the 2 Corvettes. Marcus Wang's actually overtaken Bouquet in qualifying, and just the what have we got, 12 100ths between Lenneman and Huang. Marcus Wang in second, Stephen Bouquet in third, Charles Sierra with a 45.8. So we're talking 1.1 seconds off the pace with the difference in GT3 cars at the moment. Tobias Cherney at 46.2. Yeah, we're talking 1.5 seconds off the pace. We've only got the 30 seconds to go, and Tobias has just gone off there, so he won't make an improvement. Greg Heaton, a fantastic result, 6th place so far. It's 46.214 in the rough, so that's outstanding for him. So him in front of Warren Pickering, who we know did so well in Motegi, coming second a few weeks ago. Brett Woods, another Australian in another rough, in 8th place at 46.5, and Dongwoo Gang down, must be said, in 9th place. I can't remember seeing him in that position before, in the rough as well though, with a 46.6, so we're talking 2 seconds about off the pace for Dongwoo Gang. Yons Huang, I believe, in the BMW in 46.714, just in front of Jacek Frazik, who had a great result last week in the McLaren. Peugeot, Alex Cherney, Brett Wilson, Bernie Weemers in the Redback Racing rough. Alam Halabi, who had a good result last week, coming 8th. Timmy Ballinger, I noticed this week, not in the GT3, he's made that move, and he's moved over to the Texaco rough. Min Park, Vincent Brahm, BMW, Christopher Beaufet had some major issues last week in the rough. Adam Jarvis and Young Hai Yo in the 22nd place.
Yeah, it's interesting as you go through the grid there, just seeing how some of these drivers are competing in the championship as well. So I think there'll be a few guys, you know, like you mentioned, Warren, and Marcus needs to bounce back after his poor race at Watkins, where he went off after his pit stop, and yeah, Charles again just needs to make sure he scores good consistent points, and he could be in for chance of holding on to that lead, maybe even extending it again. It's very easy to push a little bit too hard and end your race early, as we've seen Lindemann do on many occasions. Of course, Bocade fighting for the GT1 class and category, so how many points is he leading that by now? 24 points ahead of yeah, Marcus Wang, and then Mark Lane behind them. So, and Australia out front, I wouldn't say dominating it at the moment, but 334 points compared to Singapore's 286, so good strong performances. And I think most of that's coming through the fact that you guys are doing picking up all those wins in the GT1 in the Corvette class there.
Yeah, and it appears, and what's surprising me tonight is that number one, there's only the two Corvettes in the race, and both representing Australia. Our host, I'm not sure he's actually with us at the moment. His name's been greyed out. He's been given 23rd on the grid, but I think you'll find that our host Mark Lang's not here at the moment, which is a shame. He's starting to show some genuine pace in that Corvette as well. But yes, slowly lining up on the grid here. Very surprised with Dongwu Gang's grid position in 9th. That's hopefully just a bit of a aberration with how his race pace might go, but be interesting at the start and how quickly these two Corvettes can gobble up Lindemann, or whether they can or not at all. So yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be the case. Before everybody takes to grid, let's just quickly run through the Manufacturers' Cup as well. The BMWs are leading the way at the moment on 245 points, with the McLarens in second on 193, followed by the RAF 169. So a few Corvettes out there find themselves in 151, and then of course not many people driving the Ford, but a few loyal fans. That'll probably change once we get the GT3 spec version.
Yeah, no GT3s on the grid tonight. As we said, Timmy Bellinger's swapped over, and I think that's fair enough. It's proved to be uncompetitive at the moment. So, as you said, next season they might stick with the blue oval. But this is exactly the type of thing that Lindemann wants. Just having that gap. He's going to need to. He's got a 28-point deficit to Charles Sierra in 4th, who's going to need to be patient here and probably just acknowledge that the Corvettes will struggle off the line. Lindemann's got a great chance to make the most of this race very early.
Yeah, that's the important thing. He isn't going to have to worry about what these Corvettes are doing, as long as he doesn't get out-dragged towards turn 1, but I honestly don't think he will, because they're going to be struggling with grip off of the grid. So he could find himself 3 or 4 seconds clear after the end of this lap. Race starters getting ready, lights are coming on. Here, Virginia International Raceway. We are racing here, and actually a slow start from Lindemann. He's going to get mugged.
He's just thrown away his advantage. That's a fantastic
start. We've got a little off in the background as well, and as you can see, that massive runoff area, just a lot of people can just slip and slide forever.
Brett Wilson. Yeah, but there's no damage to his car. He's just got to get his act together here and stop talking about what's happened and get back into the race. And we also got some more damage at the back. Yong Huang and Bernie Weemers and the rough have gone off in turn 1 as well. Peugeot, who started in pit row, has already gone through them. So yeah, Bernie not happy. Didn't see what happened there, but we know Bernie's a clean racer. But yeah, he had dramas at the first corner last week, dramas at the first corner this week. He's having a bit of a down time, but racing up the front already surprised us with Marcus Wang. What a believable start he's made there.
Yeah, he managed to get it off the line really well, and considering the, we know that Corvettes struggle a little bit with traction, and now he's just doing what he needs to do. He's got the straight line speed advantage here, so he can really hammer away down here, and I think after perhaps maybe halfway through this next lap, his tyres will be fully up to temperature and he can push on.
Yeah, you would think so, but at the end of the day they still had warm temperatures when they did qualifying and they weren't up to Lindemann's speed, so Marcus is going to show us at the speed, but yeah, it's going to be a problem with finding a way past, isn't it? Because he's not going to have the straight line speed on the Corvette, so he's going to have to find a decent place under brakes in the tighter section.
yeah, never easy to do here. And as we see them shoot off down the main straight, just Marcus pulling away again. Nearly a second clear by the time they reach the start finish line. Got a good battle going on here. Brett Woods and Greg Heaton side by side. They're both in the Russ with Flashback behind them.
Yeah, running neck and tail, aren't they? And yeah, they've got Dongwu just in front of them. So Dongwu's just made the 2 places up. But it's just like I said, it's a smallish field, but it just surprises me with the start Lenderman through. Marcus has just made that mistake in the small S's section there. I wouldn't be surprised if he's getting a shortcut as well, Marcus.
Let's just have a
Marcus
very,
won, that is.
let's just have a very quick look at that back on replay. So we just missed that. Yeah, he went a little bit deep, and I think that was the problem. Only a little bit of contact between the two. He just went wide, and certainly not over for the overall race victory for Huang there, but he's going to have to make it count really quickly, I think.
Well, they're going to have to try and stay on Lenderman's tail, otherwise this will be all over very quickly for him. And Stephen Bouquet, no surprises there. Look at that straight line speed difference between our series leaders Charles Sierra and the Corvette leader Stephen Bouquet. But this is where Charles is going to have to really knuckle down and try and stay with him here. Could be that difference in fuel strategy. I'd imagine people like Tobias Cherney, who may not have done a lot of running here, would probably be working his numbers out as we speak now.
Yeah, important for Tobias to try and stay on the back of Charles and pick up some sort of draft if he can. I think he might already be a little bit too far back as Lindemann puts the fastest lap of the race in. He's only lap 2, so makes some sense. But yeah, 1 second clear of Marcus Huang now as well. So yeah, the advantage that the Corvette's got down the straight's being negated through the corner and twisty sections here at Virginia.
Yeah, it's just a matter of just maintaining their lines and then just keeping their rhythm here. I haven't done that many laps here outside of the V8s, and I've actually liked the track, but I find it's just keeping your rhythm up. If you could lose rhythm in the early part of the course, you just seem to be forever chasing it.
Warren Pickering sitting in 6th place. Just the 1 second behind Tobias at the moment, so probably a little bit less than that at the moment. Just on board now with Christopher Buffet.
Yeah, Chris had a lot of issues with off tracks last week. Even there, he holds a tight line, doesn't he? Yeah, it's a great looking car, there's no doubt, and it's great to see him consistently in the series, but just gotta keep those little mistakes away. And I've noticed where are we for young Christopher? 2-6.
Looks like Min Park coming on under a little bit of pressure from Young Suk Kwang here. Side by side down the back straight. He's going to have to do it the hard way around the outside, but he will have the inside for the next corner. In the end, pretty straightforward.
It's surprising considering the damage that Kwang's got on the front of his car, which we, Huang's on the front of his car, which we think might be from an incident with Bernie Weemers on lap 1. Not totally sure, I don't want to be throwing him in the deep end there, but I know Bernie was calling out a white car, maybe a bit too far apart maybe, but notice that Dongwu was actually back in this pack as well, so obviously a problem for Dongwu somewhere, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of drive-through he can get here, because he's way back in the pack in 16th place.
Yeah, let's just see if I can pick up what might have happened with Dongwu. Let's
Well, he's lost 11 seconds. He's done a 48.4 and then gone to a 59.2. So, you know, there's it doesn't look like there's any damage. Obviously, he's had a spin somewhere and taken a long time to get back onto the track. But, you know, he's now going to be caught up in a bit of traffic. So it's not just the 11 seconds he's lost; it's the time he'll lose within traffic as well. So you'd almost say to Dongwu, your day's done in regards to chasing that race win.
Yeah, just watching it back on a replay now. So going into the sweep-in left-hander, just got himself perhaps in a little bit deep, tried his absolute best, keep it on the circuit, and ended up losing the rear end. And you say he just lost an absolute boatload of places and crazy amounts of time there. So yeah, not what our 4th place in the championship man wanted there.
No, it's not. He just gained an extra spot. He's just passed Chris Beaufet then. But yeah, a lot of work to do. He's now behind Huang and Halabi and Ballinger and Brem. All cars battling with each other. Then we're talking a long way down the road. 21 seconds behind the lead already.
Lenderman extending that gap out front now. Got himself past Huang and is pushing on. Actually, he really needed that little mistake. I don't think he'd have found a way by otherwise. But he's able to stretch his legs now. And oh, we've got a blown engine. Is that Huang? That's Huang.
Yep, that's Huang. Just lost his engine. Now that's going to need a tow. He's not going to get back. I wouldn't even bother trying there. Put the brakes on, press your fast tow, and you get a free fix up. But that's it. He's not going to win from there either. So
frees up
very expensive.
Yeah, that frees up Bocade now to take the leading class as well. So ever consistent is Mr. Bocade.
Well, not a massive amount of competition, and maybe that needs to be looked at with the Corvettes. I'm not sure if it's really been that big a hit. It's great to try and introduce new cars, but just the 2 starters tonight, and if one doesn't get back on, well then Bocade is already going to be classed as the class winner. But what that does do opens up though Bocade to chase down Lenderman and see how that goes. Yeah, Lenderman's putting in some awesome times. His last lap time of 45.5. Bocade's a 46.2, so he's not going to catch him at this rate.
Tobias Cherney actually starting to close in on the back of Charles Casera, so Charles definitely taking it easy. He knows what he needs to do. He's still P2 in class at the moment. Got a little bit of pressure out there, but they're pulling away quite consistently from Warren Pickering in overall 5th place. So going to plan as far as Charles is concerned, I think.
Yeah, and we had Yong Huang facing the wrong way in the main straight there. I'm not sure if he had it. He's taking forever to do. I'm sorry, that's not. I shouldn't laugh, but that's a disastrous way to come back on the trip, Yong. If you want to play any music from Dancing with the Stars there, AC, he has done about 3, maybe 4 rotations on the grass to try and get the car back on the grass.
Well, as I said, that grass is particularly slippy, probably more so than anywhere else on the service. So, yeah, that's what can happen.
He was only probably about 2 car lengths off the track and just kept on going around in circles one way, then stopped and go around circles the other way. It'd be interesting to see how much time he has lost there, because he was the car just in front of Dongwu and was starting to make some ground up, but he's just lost all that ground and a hell of a lot more with that problem that he's had.
Tobias got very close through the snake section there. Lost a little bit going through Oak Tree, but will use the draft to get back onto the tail of this here. But yeah, it's definitely looks like the 2 drivers have set up very differently. Perhaps Tobias for the twistier section, where Charles perhaps a little bit faster in straight line.
Well, how's this for a tale of woe for Yong Huang? As I said, he just seemed to be forever taking to get back on the track. On the track, lap 2 of 47.9, lap 3 of 49.2, lap 4 of 48.4, lap 5 2 minutes 36.6. Pick the odd one out. That's a massive amount of time lost.
Yeah, crazy. Finds himself 73 seconds behind the leader now, so he'll be gutted with that. Sometimes it just yeah, just doesn't want to be your race.
But he's lost. Like I said, he was just in front of Dongwu. He's now 50 seconds behind him, so that's a fairly expensive mistake that he's made.
Greg Heaton just 0.8 second behind Warren Pickering. The 2 rough drivers out there.
And Marcus Huang's still in the pit, so it's a long track, so it's a long tow, but nah, he's calling it a day. He's just right through there that he's all over Red Road for him, so just disappointing again for the Corvettes, isn't it? They just show so much potential in qualifying, and just I know Stephen Baccade's done a great job the last couple of races, but he's flying the flag solo at the moment for the Corvettes.
I have to say, I think it's the back of Greg's car that, does it say blame it on the lag or something like that, or it was lag or something like that on the back of his car? I can't quite get a good shot of it, but yeah, I quite like that.
Well, we've got a battle here with Dongwu recovering up to 11th with Halabi and Bream in front. Or Bream, I hope I pronounced that properly for you, Vincent. So Dongwu recovering with a 48.2 last lap. He's been disappointing. I'm just going to have to assume it's a lack of practice, because 9th in qualifying is not where he should be. He knows that. But he's going to slowly build up some race pace here. But he was 20 seconds behind. He's now 28 seconds behind. Oh! Vince very keen to let him through there.
Yeah, and loses a place to Halabi in the process. Doesn't look like too much has changed between Charles and Tobias. They're still separated by just over half a second at the moment. Brett Wilson close on the tails to Young Hae Oo, and Brett Wilson, and you've got Paijo just behind them as well. So good little 3-car battle starting to form a bit further down, 15th, 16th and 17th. All three running BMW out there, so...
Well, it's a good effort for Brett here, recovering from that, well, I don't think he even made it to the first corner, did he? I think someone gave him a bit of a tap and sent him deeper in the grass. Paijo, we know, started in the pits, so he's obviously on his way back as well. And Young Hae Oo, sorry if I get that wrong, been a long day, has started from, well, what was he, last of the starters and 22nd on the grid, so yeah, we know that Wilson's got the pace here, but you know, Young's definitely improving. He's already faster than his qualifying time for this race, so actually significantly faster, 2 seconds faster, so obviously he might have had some dramas in qualifying.
Yeah, slow lap that time though. They caught up 2 seconds on that lap, so perhaps just struggling a little bit with the consistency out there as well, which I think that really does fall down to a bit of the circuit as well. You see all three drivers taking completely different lines through Oak Tree, being that challenge that corner is for the guys to take.
Yeah, I'll tell you, another car is having a drama, and there are 3 cars, just Dongwu and Halabi and Bremer coming up. Bernie Weems having a really hard time out there tonight. He's just spent probably a good 15-20 seconds just driving on the grass. I think he's a little bit down tonight, old Bernard. Obviously, 2 races in a row he got taken out in the first corner. It's not really what you will come here for.
Yeah, a bit disappointed I think Bernie there, so he left a little bit early from the V8 Supercar broadcast that we did as well when when Shane jumped in as well. So you know, just for you guys that don't know, it's a shame. Best doing a sponsored run for his mother-in-law. There's you know, do check out a previous broadcast of V8 Supercar. There's some links in there, and go and support one of your fellow iRacers as well. He's doing a sponsored run for a very good cause for his mother-in-law. So yeah, do go check that out.
Yeah, and the livery on, I think, on Bernie's car at the front shows the course, and I don't know Shane that well, but from what I do understand, he's not a runner, so, and Bernie's actually pulled out of the race, unfortunately. He's not a runner, so, yeah, the only time I'd be running for my mother-in-law is when I'd be running away from her. So, obviously, got close family ties, so we wish him all the best.
I can only assume you're not in earshot of your other half at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's another story. No dramas there.
Still Greg Heaton and Warren Pickering battling here for 5th and 6th place. They have got about an 8-second lead over Alex Cherney, so pretty comfortable to go at it. Oh, and actually, Heaton just gets himself all out of shape in the very slow left-hander. Back end just comes around, and well, yeah, that battle was pretty much died, and now he finds himself about 3.5 seconds in front of Alex now.
It's just that type of track, isn't it, where just things seem to have been spread out so quickly. Lap 10, 20 laps to go, Alex. It's going to be a tough race. It's a bit of discipline here, and if you keep it in a straight line, keep it moving forward and staying off that grass, you find yourself getting promoted position-wise very quickly.
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing. It is a long race today, and each lap's very long and demanding in its own little way. And we've got some smoke in the background as I'm just focusing on Charles and Tobias. But yeah, there's some smoke going into the oak tree corner there, so I'm not sure quite what happened there. As Tobias has a little look at the end of the straight, nothing going this time, so but just making sure that Charles knows he's there. And yeah, I have to say, I think Tobias knows that Charles has got this championship to look after, really, so he won't be taking any major risks, where Tobias probably knows he can throw one up the inside and he'll get given the room.
Yeah, but Charles has got a championship to worry about as well. But I'm surprised with Tobias's pace compared to Charles. Charles is generally the fastest BMW in the field, we know that. Tobias is generally the smartest BMW in the field, we know that as well. No offence there to the rest of them, but I can't help but think that Charles is playing with the fuel numbers a bit here, trying to go long, or alternatively try and save some fuel for later on in the race.
Yeah, 2 seconds a lot slower than his main rival. I mean, that's a huge amount of time. So, I mean, I know that this can be a tricky track to set up for, but that is crazy.
Yeah, but we're doing 48.5s here, which is not even close to where they should be. And Warren Pickering, what this has done is let the redback rough of Warren Pickering, the car number 9, right back into this. And we know that Warren's a very good, steady driver throughout, as you saw it. Teggy, Charles took that win away from Warren that race, and at the moment they're just sitting in all there. Warren's already there, just 3 abreast right now.
Yeah, actually, the pace that Warren's closing up must begin to concern Tobias when now he makes a move down this back straight. Should hold it, but I mean, Tobias has got the high ground for the initial left-hander, but if Charles can hang it out there, he's all out of shape.
Charles does not need to make that mistake. Oh, he's kept it on the island. How has he done that? Doesn't need to be doing that. Yeah, anything that he's tried to save for fuel now, that's not what you want to be doing. And that is only just avoided Warren Pickering. Oh, and Charles is off again. Charles off again. Obviously a major problem for Charles. Our championship leader, he's had his back against the wall before, but he's heavily against it now. He's just done a 156.3, if you don't mind.
Yeah, not his finest hour for sure halfway through this race, but he's 3.1 seconds clear of Alex, so he just needs to collect himself now. Don't let the red mist settle in, because very easy to get angry with yourself for making those kind of mistakes, and he should be just fine. I mean, we know he's got the he's got good pace out there, and if he's running to the numbers, then it might still work.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Does he have the good pace though? We saw Tobias going through, and that's probably a great cause of what happened in the first place. Just break way too deep, didn't he? And just missing Warren, and then that other mistake as well. So maybe he doesn't have that pace. You know, we don't know what's happening with fuel, but we know Tobias is pretty good with fuel, and he seemed to be pushing pretty hard there.
Yeah, Warren Pickering just has to deal with a back marker going through the oak tree corner. Not easy. You don't really want to be side by side going through there, but good driving from him. Definitely lost a little bit of ground on Tobias though, so we'll see now actually with this lap whether or not Tobias was being held up, as Marcus Lindemann actually and Steve Burkett both put in 147, so quite a bit slower than what we've seen from them for quite some time.
Yeah, well, we know that the Corvette is thirstier than the McLaren. We know that the McLaren is thirstier than both the Rough and the BMW, so yeah, maybe an extra stop might come into play. It's quite a long pit lane here as well, from what I can see. So, yeah, it could make all the world of difference. And Greg Heaton has retired. I'm not sure what's happened there, but he's now no longer with us as well, I see.
Yeah, let's see if we can just find out what happened to Greg there.
Well, a real shame too. Greg was showing some good pace, and he's done that a few races, hasn't he? Shown some genuine pace, but yeah. Tell you what, Alex Cherney, Charles Cesare has obviously got something up his sleeve, because you would class him as slow tonight.
Oh.
He's just done on 1 minute 50. So he doesn't have the race pace that we think, and Alex Cherney's now making significant gains. 2 seconds that last lap.
Well, I'll touch back on that in a second. We were just watching a replay there of what happened to Heaton, and I have to say I'm a bit surprised he retired there. He made a little mistake going through a tree, just a little spin coming out on the exit of it, just perhaps pushed it a little bit too much going in. But yeah, got a back marker just in front of Charles. But yeah, no real need to retire there, so a little bit unfortunate from Greg. But yes, just to get back on here, yeah, you're right, Charles is struggling big time. I wonder if it's just a confidence thing out there. He just doesn't like the track, and he's really struggling with confidence, and this is what's causing him to put all these slow times in. And yeah, Alex Cherney's sensing an opportunity here to pick up another place and get a top 5 finish.
Well, the car that's really on the move here is Warren Pickering, has just gone through Tobias Cherney as well. So Warren up to 3rd, 2nd in class. So a fantastic effort here, and you know, hopefully another good result for the Aussies. The Aussies seem to be sharing the workload around this series so far. And if he can keep up his net 3rd overall here, with Bouquet leading his class as well, will be another good result for the team's title.
Yeah, it looks like we might have missed that even on replay, unfortunately. But yeah, we just catch the tail end of Warren defending into turn 1 there.
Well, I heard there might be some big news happening with Tobias Cherney as well, with teams. It doesn't just affect the GT3 series, also his V8s as well. So just watch this space. I think there's going to be a change in the air.
Oh, well, that'll be interesting. Look forward to seeing what he does. Particularly fan of him. I do enjoy watching him driving in the V8 supercar. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's in the woodwork for that.
Yeah, it's potentially very exciting. I can't say too much yet because it hasn't been officially announced. But yeah, I might even sneak in a bit of a hint during the interview, because no doubt he'll like having a chat at the end of the race.
We've got Frashek now on the back of Charles as well, so he's just slipping further and further back. Oh,
Bouquet's in the pits, lap 14. Lenderman's in the pits, starting lap 50. So, gee, will they make it? You'd have to think, yes, they will, but I wonder if they've gone as long as they can here. And Lenderman leaving the pits now.
Let's have a look. See, Charles continues on, so yeah, I wonder if you're right. He was doing a bit of fuel set. I just don't see that though. Just the pace is just not there at all. You know, you called that earlier on. Frashak now into the pits as well. Halabi continues by, so moves himself up to 7th. Dongwu again continues up to 8th. So yeah, the recovery drive from Dongwu's not going too well, and Charles just blinked off my screen for a little while, so I thought something else had happened to him.
See, but this is the thing though, it's the lone Corvette and the McLarens are the ones who are pitting, and Warren Pickering, now the new race leader in the rough, with Tobias Cherney right behind him in the BMW, are able to continue on. So, you know, if they make this pit stop, if they pit this lap, we know that they'll make it, but there's no guarantees that Lenderman or Bouquet are going to make it. They could be that 1 lap short, so they may have to pit again.
Yeah, it might have appeared as if they were pitting in on that 15, but actually it was the start of 15, end of 14, so they're not quite half race distance. So Yeah, the drivers normally fill the tanks up and they don't tend to take anything else out. So you could be right here, Brent, and we could be in for a bit of a tasty race at the end. I mean, we've seen where was it where Lindemann had to do a two-stop anyway. Both drivers into the pits.
Both our leaders in the pits now. So yeah, it was spot on halfway. We know these two cars can make it, but at what race pace can they make it? And be interesting to see. This would be a great example. We'll see which car actually feels the quickest out of the two. Lindemann goes through back into the lead. So Lindemann's got himself in a position where he could probably even afford to have another pit stop and still win this race.
Looks like Pickering's taking tyres, but they don't jack up Tobias's car, so doesn't seem to be any time lost from the pits. It's all about the fuel.
No, I think that's significant from Warren has gained, I think, a couple of seconds easily in the pit there. Charles is, disappointing tonight, but he's in the pits as well. Dong Wu's in the pits. Alex Cherney coming out of the pits, so he's already through. It seemed like a very short stop there. So he's through. Charles is out, lost another spot, and he's only just ahead of Halabi now.
Yeah, really struggling. 0.6 seconds ahead of Halabi. So yeah, something going on that we don't know about, I think. Hopefully we'll have a little chat with him later on and see what's going on there. But it's important for him to pick himself up and start banging in some times. Otherwise, this 19-point lead that he's got in the championship is going to dwindle down to nothing in no time.
Well, yeah, 28-point lead. It'll just disappear. Yep, there's no doubt. It could be very well 19 or less by the end of the day, but it's just very surprising. And Pickering showing some good pace. It's fantastic to see Warren going so well in the Redback Racing rough. What's going to be interesting, and I'm probably going to divert a little bit here, is that it would appear that these are all the cars that are going to be used for a Spa 24-hour race that's hopefully going to be introduced the first weekend of November. I think it's set for AC, so I think some rules were announced this week. There's only going to be the 4 drivers per team, or the 3 drivers per team, so it's going to be a heavy workload. So these guys here, no doubt there'll be some of them going in the race, so good practice for them, these long stints.
Yeah, I do believe there might be some sort of little collaboration between the teams of Apex Racing and Demidov. Did we not touch on that briefly in the forum as well? We'll do some. You guys can do the late night stints, and we'll do the ones over here during our days.
I think we'll sleep very well at night whilst you're doing your shift, and vice versa as well. But I think that'll be a popular way to go.
Yeah, I mean, 3 drivers is definitely going to be a lot of hours behind the wheel for each driver, though. Regardless, 24 hours. So yeah, looking forward to that. Should be good fun.
Yeah, I personally don't think 3 drivers is enough. I would have thought you'd want closer to 4, maybe even 5, just to give yourself a genuine break. But 3 drivers, it's going to be a big test. That's I think set for November 1st and 2nd. And sorry to divert, but it's good to introduce a new series of coming to iRacing with the concept of driver swaps and things like that. So if it does work, congratulations to iRacing. The product just seems to be getting stronger and stronger at the moment, and things like that will just make it keep going forward.
Yeah, the one thing, just while we're watching this battle on screen between Halabi Cherney, that's Alex Cherney, Thesir, and Fresh as well, all down the back straight. The one thing about iRacing to do, some guys might moan the development cycle. Here comes Charles on back on. No, it doesn't make it go.
No, he's out of that early, isn't he?
Yeah, so that people might moan that they don't get enough tweaks and changes to the features each 12 weeks, but what they do is a massive, huge development cycle, and when they do tend to release something, it tends to be quite revolutionary, and they do it different to anybody else has done it. But we all sit here as sim racers and go, well, why didn't the others do it like this? You know, it's just same can be said about their online service. You know, why don't the others mirror what iRacing do? Because it is the best out there by far, and let's just hope that the driver swaps just piggybacks onto that system absolutely perfectly, and we can really enjoy some good fun team endurance racing.
Yeah, no doubt we will. Gee, Charles is struggling. Frazek's all over him now as well. It's just, you don't often say, but Charles is the car, the mobile chicane today. I know he's in 7th place and there's others who are behind him, but considering his pedigree and the potential that we know that he has, and he is the championship leader, it must be said he's disappointing today. But by saying that, he's just starting to put a bit of pressure on Alex Cherney in front of him, but all the while we've got Halabi just driving away from him. He's 2 seconds a lap faster than this group last lap.
Yeah, we saw Cherney just put a couple of wheels onto the grass, running a little bit wide through sector 2 there, so that's probably why he's right back on him. But yeah, Marcus Lindemann just fastest lap of the race as well, so still out there flying.
And what you'll find is, as I said, we've got Dongwu's come right back into his last. Dongwu's last lap was a 47 flat compared to the group in front of him. He's passing 2 cars at once here. So Dongwu on that straight has passed both Frazek and Charles has dropped another spot back to Frazek. It must be incredibly frustrating watching this championship lead just getting annihilated at the moment.
Yeah, I just do not understand what is going on. I mean, I know you can not enjoy tracks and things like that, but yeah, I can't help but think there's some sort of underlying issue that we don't know about.
Well, you wouldn't think there's any damage to his car. He's had a pit stop, so it automatically quick repair. I thought that might have been the issue, and Dongwu deep under brakes on Alex will take that spot as well. So that's an awesome lap by Dongwu, 47.8, and he'd be chasing down Halabi for 5th position now. So wouldn't have expected that at the start of the race.
Yeah, 3 cars in 1 lap, pretty impressive going, and we've got someone off over to the
that's
right.
A big off in front of. Who was that? I've completely lost who they were. Oh, in Brett Woods. Wow. Coming up to that oak tree, that sweeping right hand before the oak tree, he's just gone straight ahead over down the hill, and it's taken a long time to get back on the track, but doesn't look like there's any damage there at all.
Yeah, let's just take a quick little look at that back on replay. Actually had Warren Pickering and Tobias right behind him, so I think he was perhaps more concerned with what was going on behind.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what he was doing.
But yeah, you end up in the middle of no man's land with it, how the track is, and we saw earlier on, it can take a while to get back onto the circuit, so he must have lost an absolute load of time there.
I don't know what's happened here, but it's given Warren Pickering up to 2nd, Cherney 3rd, and Boucade now down in 4th. Oh, hang on, Boucade's... actually, why is that? I'm not sure.
Boucade's pitted again by the looks of it, so he jumped in early. 5.9 seconds stop according to my data.
Okay, well then he's got to stretch his wings from here, can't he? But I didn't see him pit. But yeah, he's obviously had to take that extra fuel like we thought he would. So I wonder where that's going to leave Lindemann now, or whether Lindemann can really switch off. Like, look at the lead he's got. We're talking over half a minute. He can actually come in for a pit stop, have a bit of coffee if he wanted to, and get back out there and still find himself in the lead. This is really the race that he's been threatening to do, hasn't he, for the whole season so far? Just threatened to blow away the field, and so far he's still got 10 laps to go. This is exactly where he's needing to be.
Brashak now right on the tail of Charles. Yeah, very, very unusual for us to call that, but be it how he is, and Charles, yeah, just falling back from the drivers ahead. And actually, Alex Cherney, he don't know what's happened to him. He's showing as not moving out there at the moment. Let me just see if I can find out what happened to Alex Cherney, because he's suffering out there at the moment. Just bring up a little replay. He was just tucked up behind Dongwu Gang, and it looks like Fashaka got himself past Charles. We're gonna go side by side through the snake. Oh no, just gets tagged. Massive hit, and I think he's gonna hit the invisible barrier that's over there. No, he doesn't, but he is booking a room in the hotel. Gets himself all turned around. He's got no idea where he's going, and has to fast. Well, it's not fast toe, it's slow toe. Yeah, he's completely lost. His car's in a right mess. Nothing he can do. He's up on the he's up on the lawn of the hotel now. So, yep. Sorry, Alex. I'm pretty sure, and he's stuck behind the Arco. So, just having a bit of fun, I think.
Having a bit of fun there now.
Yeah, Lenderman just enjoying himself out there now. 34 seconds ahead of Warren Pickering and Tobias Cherney. Both those... Sorry, go on.
Yeah, well, I've never been in the position Lenderman's in. I would imagine you probably have. It's just, I can imagine it'd be hard to keep your concentration leading this by this much into a race, and I don't know what your motivation would be, whether it's to try and punch out a few fastest laps to keep your concentration up, or just keep your gap steady behind you. I'm not sure.
I think the biggest problem is at this point, you know, you start looking at the cars ahead of you and the relative and think, oh, I can lap up to, you know, 6th or 7th place, and you know, and you start really pushing hard to try and see how far you can lap, and yeah, it keeps you motivated and it keeps you on fire, but you can overcook it. I mean, we've seen him make these mistakes before, so it's important for him to keep his mind focused on what he's doing and not try and overdrive the car. Yeah, on the, you know, the reverse side of that, what he doesn't want to do is become too complacent and then just stick it into the tyre barriers at Oak Tree or something.
We saw him last week possibly have one of the worst outlaps I think I've ever seen in iRacing. So, yeah, he has the potential to do some crazy things at crazy times, but you wouldn't think that he would make that same mistake today.
Just quickly joined by...
Sorry,
just quickly joined by Alex Cherney. Yeah, you had a little bit of an adventure there, didn't you, mate? We're just seeing it on the screen.
Yeah, it was a short holiday in the landscape, I would say.
how are you finding the track conditions out there? We noticed that we're looking at Charles Sierra. You deem him to be quite slow tonight. Is it hard work out there, or is it just managing the fuel?
Managing the fuel, yes, and playing a little bit around with the engine maps, 2 or 3. But in the first stint it was quite good. Was enough fuel inside. I've seen Charles was going slow in the end, and yeah, unfortunately after the pit stop my lap times dropped down 2 seconds and more. I think Alex can imagine what happened.
Yeah, well, we just saw obviously you got tagged going through the snake section there. Very, very tricky to go too wide through there, and
yeah, but also the laps before, behind after the second in the second stint, I was driving engine map 1 because I only had 95% throttle. That's massively slower.
Yeah, we obviously spoke about this for the V8 race, so yeah, it's a shame to see that's come back. I really hope that you get that problem sorted, but that probably explains the impatientness of the guys behind you trying to get past then, even in those slower sections.
Yeah, of course.
Those high-speed sections, but...
I tried 3 times on the long back straight to adjust the connectors in my near to my pedals, which is very difficult by driving and shifting outwards with right hand and doing something there next to the feet. No easy work, and it wasn't successful.
I wonder if, like your brother, you didn't take tires at the pits?
Of course, I took tires.
Oh, okay,
I think it would be better because yeah, the first lap is a little bit slidey, but after that, I think it makes sense.
It looked like Tobias didn't take any tyres at the pits, so I wonder perhaps a slight different strategy. It didn't look like the car jacked up, whether that was just a bit of a graphical bug on our screens.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure he took tires.
That makes sense then. Well, obviously he's got a good battle going on at the moment, but back to yourself. Yeah, let's hope you get those issues sorted and you can bounce back for next week's race, which is Mosport.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, unlucky today, out of your hands really in the end, but yeah, we look forward to seeing you then, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, Alex.
Bye bye.
Sorry about that little background noise. R2 getting a little happy.
R2D2's getting happy.
Tobias' journey then really starting to put the pressure on Warren Pickering. We've seen Warren absorb pressure like this before. They've got to keep a watchful eye. They've got Steve Bocade coming as well. Actually, this could be Tobias's best opportunity to get a move on Warren. I think we know how good that rough is out of the slow speed corners, so it's going to be very difficult for Tobias to get a run down the back straight. But perhaps if Bocade's mixing it in there as well, he could follow him through.
I'm just looking at Bocade. I don't think he's had that extra pit stop. He's pitted on by my lap timing. He's only done that lap 14 pit. I haven't got him as pitting at lap 20, so I can see him pitting again. And I'm surprised at his lack of race pace here. I would have thought he would have swallowed these two guys up well and truly, so maybe he's backed right off his pace, or the potential pace of this car, to try and save fuel, to try and eke out that extra lap, but I can't see him doing it.
Yeah, Bocade puts the move on Tobias and gets himself out of shape there. I think Warren just didn't want to let him go through at that point, and got to be careful here because he's going to lose the place back to Tobias, and actually all the time this is slowing down Tobias as well, so going to be frustrating him a lot. The gap now up to 1.5 seconds, where he was right on his tail. Look how slow the Corvette is through that sector.
And this is all helping Warren Pickering. I'm sure Bocade's not doing this deliberately, but it's helping Australia out massively here by taking Pickering away from Tobias. Although I think Tobias is still representing the Aussies. I'm not sure if it's been confirmed yet, but I'm pretty sure it might be actually.
And you can see how much Tobias closes up through the oak tree corner. I think this time Bocade will get Pickering down this straight. He does, he moves over, so it's going to be 3 wide going past more traffic, and yeah, definitely Tobias not able to capitalise on that and actually loses more ground than anything.
And our friend Mr. Lenderman's had a bit of a wake-up call. We've missed that. He's obviously had a spin somewhere. He's just dropped a bundle of time. He's just did a 46.9 as that lap, but the lap before that 2 minutes even, so obviously had an issue somewhere, and that wasn't a pit stop.
Yeah, let's see if I can just see what that was. Yeah, lap 23, looking at that. Let's just jump back and have a quick clip or replay of that.
And what that's done though is really, if Marcus does have to pit again, dropping that 15 seconds, that's really going to let Pickering and Tobias right back into this. If you're two-stopping, you can't afford to drop any time like that, so let's see if he is having a two-stop.
Just looking at the replay now, he got himself just a little bit too heavily over the inside curves in the final corner, and bounced himself off and wide, and yeah, just, you know, the car just carries on sliding on that grass there, and costs him an absolute load of time. Yeah, like you say, perhaps a little bit of wake up just to keep his focus there, and don't do anything silly 25 seconds in front of Bocade. And you're right, you can't afford another stop.
And we've got Dongwu Gang's gone through on Halabi as well, so Dongwu up to 5th, so it's an uninspired driver, it has to be said, from 9th on the grid, but it's... Yeah, others have made it fairly easy for him with mistakes here and there, but he's done the job, come through to 5th. He missed last week's race, which is probably a real disappointment to him, because I reckon he would have shown some good pace there. Should have he been lucky enough to miss all that first lap carnage, and I use that carnage word probably too often, I guess, but it was absolute carnage last week. It's been a lot cleaner tonight compared to that. Yeah,
I don't think there's any other way of describing that. Where are we now? Tobias close back up to Warren here, so still got 4 laps to go. There's opportunity to get a move done. Bouquet far enough ahead now that Warren's not picking up any slipstream off the back of that Corvette, so yeah, if Tobias is going to make a move, I would think now's the time to do it.
Yeah, I want to give a bit of a shout out to, I know you just jumped on board there, Tim Ballinger's been running the Ford GT. He's finally bitten the boot and he's gone to the Texaco number 10 rough. Him and Ming Park have been nose to tail for numerous laps now, 10th and 11th. Tim would be loving this, no doubt, showing a bit of extra competitiveness. If they've got Marcus Lenderman coming up now to lap them. So, but they've got their own little race happening here, so yeah, congratulations to Tim. He did the best he could in the GT, but I think just ultimately the slowness of the cars made him force his hand and change his decision.
Let's not forget what these drivers are racing for as well. So at the end of the season, top driver gets a test drive in Caterham at Sepang. So, you know, great prizes put on. You know, again, big shout out to Mark Lane for organising this, and PitTalk Asia.com for being the feature sponsor of the series. Oh, up the inside, who was that? That was Lenderman, wasn't it? Just putting a lap on, that's fine.
Not making life easy at all for our race leader. Now, Lenderman's just done a 46.7, so he's obviously got the hammer down a bit more, but what's the lead up to? 26 seconds. How much are they losing in the pits? Whoa, wow, they're losing 25 seconds plus, so if he needs another pit stop, which I think he might do, it's gonna bring Pickering and Cherney right back into this, and I think Bouquet's gonna need another pit stop as well.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like,
still pretty convinced Bouquet's okay. At this point, we saw him go a lot longer than all the Corvettes as well, so I didn't see any incident that would cause him to drop down those places. So, and the timing screen is still pretty solid on that. 2 stops made, but only a little splash and dash.
Well, just looking at Frozek, he's the other McLaren that's really caught my eye here, that he's considerably dropped off of Charles this year. Now, we know Charles was actually holding up Frozek, and Frozek's just done a 50 flat, so whether he's trying to hang on and save some fuel just to get to the finish from 8th position there, but yeah, Charles was driven away from him. He's now got 9 seconds on him. Maybe Lenderman's in the same position. It's just, this isn't over yet. We've got Tobias and Warren nose to tail here.
Yeah, we've got some traffic as well in play. That's out of play now, literally.
Yeah, very forgiving in getting out the way there.
Yeah, just 2 laps remaining as the leader crosses the start-finish line. This is probably the closest Tobias is going to be. He's going to have a little opportunity into 1. He's going to have to go around the outside. It's not easy, but it can be done.
Well, Marcus Lenderman's now just done a 155.8. So he's way off the race pace here, and he's got Stephen Bouquet, who's just done a 47 even, and it's saying it's 16 seconds. I don't reckon that looks like 16 seconds to me. Oh, Lenderman's made that mistake. Oh no, we just gave a shout out to Tim Ballinger. He has just run straight clean into the back of Ballinger. Terrible driving by our leader. Just drove straight back into him.
Yeah, Lenderman definitely struggling. You're right, there is no way that 16 seconds on my live timing. It is showing as 2.8. So, yeah, the race is well and truly on. And I'll tell you what, Warren and Tobias are not too far behind. He cannot afford another 1:55 second lap. He will not even finish on the podium at this rate. Tobias Cherney again having a look down the back straight. Not sure he's going to get enough of a run. Warren seems to know exactly where he needs to put his car, making his job really difficult for Tobias. But he's up the inside.
Contact! They don't need. They're costing themselves a chance to win this race, both of them.
Yeah, and actually,
Tobias is doing the right thing, sporting-wise, and waiting. However, if it didn't happen in the first place, no, you got to say well done to Tobias there for waiting. Hopefully, Warren doesn't have any serious damage there. They can get back onto some serious racing. But the race is up the front.
Great sportsmanship from them. I mean, it is a shame. I mean, 2 minutes was that lap from Lenderman. I have to say, if they hadn't have done that, I think they probably would have ended up beating Lenderman this time.
Yeah, they would have eaten him for sure. At 2 minutes even, it just doesn't. I don't know where he's losing his time though. He's. Yeah, what are we talking about with the last lap? 58s for Tobias and Pickering compared to 2 minutes. Now, if he took 14 seconds off, I know woulda, coulda, shoulda, but didn't. That'd be right with this as well. But yeah, Lenderman's bringing it home.
I was about to say,
fuel's like obviously a major issue.
He looks like he's picked it up a little bit. Little mistake coming out of Oak Tree, but he's accelerating hard down this back straight, so I think he knows now that he saved the fuel that he needed to, and yeah, he's good to the end of this race. Buckade very close. He might get a run.
Well, we know the Corvette's going to be quicker in a straight line anyway. I'll be crazy not to have a go here, Stephen Burke. Oh, he's just drove in too deep there in that corner, Buckade, and that's going to cost him any chance now. No, he'll hang on there.
Lenderman then tight on fuel, but does indeed hold out for overall victory, which is, you know, rather impressive considering he's in the spec series below the C6R Corvette, but Bocade still takes class victory and extends his lead in the championship. We've missed it, but Tobias has passed Warren Pickering. I honestly hope there wasn't damage in that, but nonetheless Tobias did do the sportsman thing and wait for him, but ultimately the damage might have got him past.
Yeah, no, they did say that Warren did say he had some damage, and Lenderman just paced himself well. His last lap 47.4, so Pickering and Cherney would not have got to him anyway. But gee, that's a bizarre race with Marcus Lenderman. Look at his last laps here: 46.2, 46.7, 55.8, 2 minutes and 8, and then a 47.4 to finish off with. So playing heavily with his fuel, but congratulations to Marcus Lenderman.
Donald Gang come across in 5th, Halabi in 6th, Charles Dussier in a very disappointing 7th, but he does keep his championship alive with that result nevertheless. Frashak in 8th, Buffet 9th, Park 10th, Paijo 11th, and I'm not entirely sure now based on my timing screen going all over the place.
Yeah, what would you get to? 11th, Peugeot 11th, Huang in 12th, Vince Brahm in 13th. Brett Wilson, you know, he went off early, I guess, and he made a few spots back, but probably uninspired from him too. Yong Hee Yo from last on the grid to 15th, so good job by him. Tim Ballinger, we saw what happened to him at the end there with Marcus Lenderman. Just ran straight cold into the back of him, I'm afraid. Brett Brett Woods in the 17th had dramas, Adrian Jarvis had dramas, Alex Cherney we've spoken to, Greg Heaton, Bernie Weimers, Marcus won blew an engine on lap 5 from the race lead, I think, no, from second place, and our host Mark Lang gets given his 23rd but didn't see him all night. Would have been great to have a chat with Mark tonight.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed that he couldn't make it, but I'm guessing something out of his control affected that. I'm sure we'll see him back next week at Mosport. Ooh, Mosport, I tell you what, that's going to be an interesting track with the class divide.
Yeah, it's always a great track for close racing, so yeah, hopefully the numbers will pick up next week as well. Yeah, considering the prizes on offer here and the fantastic sponsors, what they've offered here, I would have thought there'd be cars all over it, but yeah, this could be a drop race for some, and it's a busy weekend for some. Father's Day here in Australia tomorrow, so yeah, the numbers will hopefully pick up next week.
We just see Charles pretty much, I think that sums up his race, not happy at all. Has a little accident in the pit lane. I'm pretty sure yeah, he'll be writing off this one, and looking forward to Mosport already. Right, we're just going to take a very quick commercial break. Hopefully we'll get a few guys in for an interview, but we'll do a little post-race show and then wrap it up. But yeah, we'll be back in just a short sec.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels, including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV. I think Brendan's just popped down to try and get some people up for an interview just while we're up in the blimp, just looking at a recap of this start. Hopefully we can see a little bit more what happened. Obviously there was a few little offs going into this first few corners. We just saw that. We saw that on the initial broadcast, where it's just the kind of runoff area that's there, and so tricky. And yeah, Bernie just getting squeezed there. Actually, it was same driver that got involved with both incidents, just not given enough room there. You know, when you're side by side, you can't force a move when you know, there's not the room. You need to give some room on that first lap. Looks like we might be joined by Steve Bocade. He's not jumped in the Ready for Interview channel yet. He has now. So without further ado, let me bring him up and have a quick little chat with him. Steve, congratulations, class win, but not overall win today. Obviously a track that probably suited the GT3s a little bit more than your GT1. Survived the first lap, cold tyre issues. So yeah, just tell us about the race, how it panned out, and what the challenges were out there today.
How you doing, Alex? Yeah, where to begin? Turn 1, I knew the tires were going to be cold. I was hoping Marcus, you know, with his quick qualifying lap, pretty much stay behind him and try and keep with the pace. Obviously Marcus has got that raw pace going, so that's why I did the fuel strategy on my first stop. Went for tires, full gas, and then went straight back in and topped it off with about 2 gallons. That should take me out to the end because I was already at 14 laps. So it was another 28, and then I'll cover the last 2 laps.
Yeah, we did wonder why you dropped back a little bit, and it did look like it was just a splash and dash. It was hard to pick out on the lap timings, but you know, we see a drop back. So I mean, is this? We've seen a few tracks now where the GT3s can mix it with you guys, and then a few tracks where you clearly have the advantage. You know, have you put your finger on it yet? Which what sort of circuit or what corners give you the advantage, or where they've got the advantage over you?
Well, I think low speed turns. GT3 is definitely more agile. So the plan for the C6 is just get right up behind them and wait till the long part of the track and just beat them out on the speed portion.
Yeah, you did that quite successfully. Looking at an overtake just on screen now that you did on Charles as well. So coming out of Oak Tree, yeah, I mean they do like. You do look like I have quite a straight line speed advantage over them, but let's not get too distracted with the battle between the sort of the manufacturers and just focus on the championship battle. So good, strong performance. I mean, we haven't had a chance to really chat to you over the last 3 weeks, and picked up class victories and leading the way in the championship and extending that again today. So yeah, congrats on that. Good, strong performance. Like you say, not really got the overall pace on, say, Marcus out there, but you know, we've been talking in the box saying that you're probably the most consistent of the drivers, and that's really showing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was kind of surprised with Marcus blowing out the engine. I'm not sure, what was that, turn 4? He probably downshifted too early, but yeah, I was planning to stay behind him because he did that definitely at the pace up with Marcus. So that's how it panned out. I'm just happy I got P2.
Well, another good result for the Aussies as well, Stephen. Congratulations to your class winner. But how hard is it to stay motivated tonight? You're the only Corvette out there for a while. Obviously, you had a car or two to chase down, which obviously made life interesting for you, but for the class, I mean, is it easy to stay motivated with the other cars around?
Yeah, no doubt. You know, pretty much all the drivers are out here for fun. On raw talent, Marcus is definitely faster, and if he switched into the Corvette, who knows? You know, he'd definitely be in contention for the lead. I just happen to have a faster car, and depending on the track, if it's got long straights, it just plays into my hand. But again, Marcus did a great job today, and congrats to him.
Just having a look at, sorry Brenton, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Yeah, just having a look at Moss Spot. You know, you were saying about the slow speed corners is where you struggle. So Moss Spot, known pretty much apart from Moss Corner to be quite a flowing, sweeping circuit. So I'm guessing you're thinking you guys probably going to have the advantage there, and should be a good race.
Yeah, well, we hope so. There is a couple of off-camber turns in there, so just got to be watch out for that. And again, with the raw pace of the other drivers, I just got to stay within my game and again, work with what I have, just Corvette, understanding its strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, Brenton, anything final just for Steve before we let him go?
No, mate, no. It's no, congratulations, mate. Good steady performance, mate. Did what you had to do, so good points in the bank again, and extend your already healthy lead in the Corvette class, mate. And obviously, I said put good points towards the team's title, so congratulations.
Thanks very much. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thanks again.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to? Sorry, mate. Your Callaway car there. I'm thinking you must be a bit of a golfer. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to at all?
Actually, this goes out to one of our Aussie iRacers, Shane Best. I guess his mother-in-law is fighting an immune system disease that and they are looking for donations to offset the medical expenses. So for you watchers out there, viewers, if you want to donate, just go to www.mycause.com and just search Run for Tina, and you'll notice some of the cars that are driving today. I've got the liveries in dedication to that.
Well, we can go one better than that, Stephen. We just put the URL on screen for the guys, so they can go straight to the Run for Tina page for Shane Best there. So yeah, good cause. We've been keeping a close eye on that, and I had that at the ready.
All right, it's kind of late. I just want to say thanks to everybody, and it's been a great series.
Congratulations, Steve. Well done.
Right, let's speak to Charles before we talk to Tobias.
Can I start this, Alex, if that's alright?
You go for it, mate.
I just want to ask the one question to Charles, and then I'm going to step way backwards. We might not need our headsets for this because we probably hear him from Singapore. Charles, what do you think of the Corvettes?
You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Yeah, just say it quietly.
Well, they shouldn't be in front. Yeah, so I don't know. Well, the drivers in there, Steven, he's pretty consistent, and no, but we're trying to have a pro and am category. Trying to differentiate the amateur drivers from the guys who are more experienced and are actually fighting for the championship. And to have the Corvettes in the front every single race so far, it's not really, it doesn't help us in any way. I think the ideal situation would be that they just pull away and we just keep going and leave us alone fighting for our own battle. But we always see them spin and take people out. So, that's something we have to address. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt they will, and as they get used to their tyres being cold on the first lap, or especially the first corner, they'll get used to it. But I remember a particular VIP Pet Foods BMW winning in Motegi in front of the Corvette, so the pace is there for you, mate. But tonight, let's be honest, that was a shocker. We'll be honest about it. Yeah, it wasn't good. Tell us a bit about your race.
Well, yeah, going to this race, I already knew I hated this track. So I've never driven here before, so I was like, all right, let's do some damage limitation. Coming from Sebring and Watkins Glen the past 2 weeks, I was like, alright, the chances of me getting taken out by a Corvette will be about 99.9%. So as long as I finished in the points, or as in high up in the points, I really didn't care. So yeah, I mean, hopefully I still retain my championship lead, and hopefully next time we don't see any of these tracks around. Like if Virginia is a bit too tight, so it's not really suitable for GT3 cars. We should go to proper circuits instead of like someone's backyard to race. So but yeah, the race was alright. Got a good start. Could keep up with the top 3 guys fairly well, and then I don't know, tires just went and I was losing time, and I was like, okay, let's try and go to a 1-stop. I was actually planning 2-stop with Marcus, and turns out after I spun, I was like, alright, stuff this, I'll just go to a 1-stop, and yeah, that was it. 7th was like terrible, but that's the best I could do today.
Yeah, we saw you lock your ears when Tobias was just overtaken, and you almost put it into the back of Pickering as well, but then you made another mistake pretty much immediately after. What caused that? Or was it just loss of concentration, or just no grip from the first spin?
Pissed off. Being pissed off led to that mistake going off there.
I appreciate your honesty. AC's here, no doubt, wants to have a chat with you, but yeah, nice try tonight, mate.
Yeah,
man,
no,
thanks.
Just really just to echo what Brenton really said, just looked like you're really struggling out there, and yeah, it's definitely a track that can get the better of you mentally, I think, and you're spending more time just trying to stay on it than actually race. I don't know if that's the attitude, sort of your mental attitude in it. Really, for this one, you said about damage limitation. I guess that's what crept in. You made a couple of mistakes, and then it was. I guess you're just wishing for it to end.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the track was a bit, you know, quite mentally tiring. Not really mentally tiring, but it was just the point about, you know, trying to conserve the car. It's not racing, is it? You know, I think the fuel balance could be a little bit better. You know, it's not very fun to keep going to races and having to, you know, worry about the fuel, put it to map 5 or 4 and conserve it. You know, we should be racing flat out, not conserving fuel. You know, it's not real life, so you know we can just burn as much petrol as we want, right? So maybe we could see a little bit shorter races, or you know, the fuel cap increased a little bit so that we could, you know, actually do a map 1 run all the way to the flag, which would, you know, make better racing. So hopefully some things need to be addressed, and they will be, hopefully.
Well, we certainly know that the admins of the series are not afraid just to spice things up and make some changes when they need to. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that and see. I think you know, Mark appreciates the feedback always. So I did just want to touch on the Drivers' Championship. Obviously, you pulling away and following that great recovery drive from Watkins. To be honest, I mean, what could have been on that race, but shown on the pace that you had there. But still, nonetheless, good performance and built up a nice little lead. Still going to hold on to it, but obviously that gap's closed down. We're what are we, about a quarter of our way through the series at the moment. Big prizes up for grabs and things like that. Does that play on your mind? I mean, are you trying to win this series? You want after that prize, of course, I guess.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely gunning for the prize. I think it's like a Caterham drive or something, whatever it was. So, you know, I think Virginia and probably, well, I think Virginia is like the last of the circuits that I really don't like. We got Sebring out of the way, we got Virginia out of the way now, so I like Motorsport, I like Donington, all the GP, obviously all the F1 circuits are coming up, so I really like them, and Bathurst in October, that'll be great. Hopefully I get that one finally in the bag after 3 seasons of trying, so yeah, I'm quite confident in the races coming up, so yeah, let's hope for the best, and yeah, definitely gunning for the win.
Well, I wish you all the best in those, and Mospot, before we let you go, anyone you just want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, man, Mark Lang, you know, keep giving shout outs to him, you know, but yeah, he's such a good guy, and you know, hosting this every week makes me have something to look forward to, so appreciate all the effort, and you guys, apart from last week, yeah, stellar job, man.
Wait, what happened last week?
I don't know.
The telecast is there, mate, and so you're just dirty that the little car number 28 Demidov Innovations Rough won the driver of the day last week, Charles. So if you look on the right thread, mate, you'll find that the race broadcast is up.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, better late than never. I think we were doing it at about 1:30 in the morning, weren't we, Brenton? Well, I was anyway.
It was an unusual time, one we hadn't done before. No.
That's terrible. Thanks, guys.
Alright, mate. Yep, thanks
Cheers,
a lot.
mate.
See you at Mospot.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm trying to just do a little bit of pre-qual at the moment. So, who are we up next? Tobias.
We've pinched him up. He's in mid-conversation. Tobias.
When is Tobias not in mid-conversation?
Sometimes.
4th place today, then, Tobias. No, sorry. That's not,
in the GT3s.
I was about to say that's not right, because you did get by, didn't you? My timing screen goes mad at the end of the race, and I think it all depends where people pull off on the circuit. So, yeah, 2nd in the GT3s, 3rd overall. Had a great battle with Warren Pickering through the closing stages of that race. Got alongside, unfortunately, a little bit of contact, but showed great sportsmanship and letting him go back past. Just fill us in on the rest of your race.
Yeah, was really interesting. This because I think with a bit more higher
or larger fuel tanks, it wouldn't be resulting in this bit of fuel saving there. So I was running in map 2 for the whole time, except when I wanted to make a pass, for example on Charles in the first stint. When I was behind Charles, for me it looked like he suddenly realized, oh wait a second, I need to make 15 laps, otherwise I have to pit twice. So suddenly he was 1-2 seconds a lap slower, and then I caught up to him and switched to fuel map 1 and tried to use the bit of extra power to get past. Then the second one, Warren was pretty quick towards the end of the first stint, so I was quite surprised that it was a bit the opposite in his second stint, and I closed up to him in the last couple of laps. And I really had the feeling that I had the pace on him. Unfortunately, we made the contact there going into the right-hander there after the long back straight. I think I couldn't get the car turned anymore, and then he unfortunately pushed him into the grass. But because there was no other direct competition round, I let him back, and I was not sure what to do then. I have to say, really. I mean, it was a very minor contact there, and it didn't look like he has too much damage, and unfortunately he ran off there in the last lap, and I got past then.
Well, obviously you missed previous week Watkins, so dropped a little bit in the overall championship. It was pretty close between sort of all the front guys, but Charles having a bit of a shocker today, that's probably helped in bring it all back together. But is that something you're looking at, the championship? I mean, we know that Lenderman's particularly quick in the GT3 class, but
I couldn't believe
you're
this
consistent.
time. 44.7. Wow. 1.5 seconds faster than me in the quali. Well, okay, I was qualifying with my race setup, so but I'm not much into doing quali setups with the D3 cars, so he possibly deserves this. He's super quick, so I'm just looking for the best place that follows behind him there. So second here, third there, it's fine. I'm not even sure. I think there's only 1 or 2 drop rounds. And, I might have another 2 weeks. I'm not sure if I can take part in 2 weeks, so then it's obviously getting a bit more difficult in the championship standings.
Now, AC, you have to listen to this answer. Now, Tobias, will tonight, do you think, be the last time you drive in a Powerbond Daco skin?
Yeah, it might be that you guys see me next week in a Hot Pursuit Motorsports paint scheme, but you don't know the team. It's a German team.
Oh, well,
so,
that'd be interesting.
Here you go, AC. You heard that here first. Tobias is no longer in the Powerbond Daco team, and I do believe that
I'm no
extends
longer
to the
driving. Wait a second. I'm no longer driving the Powerbond BMW then, because I'm running in series second series in parallel, and there I'm running with the team paint scheme. Yeah.
Yes. What you do in the V8, Tobias, is up to you. Sorry to cough. What you do up to the V8's up to you, Tobias. However, just for the GT series, which we cover, my spies did tell me that this will be the last time you race in that livery, and we'll be changing teams. So congratulations for that. A good career, I guess you'd call it, with Powerbond Daco, and we don't really need to know the reasons behind that. But yeah, your new team, what can we hear or find out about them?
Yes, I told you, it's from a second series I'm participating, and it's racing with a lot of Europeans, or mainly Germans. And yeah, there we will have different style like races like this year. 60 minutes or 20 minute sprints mixed with the GT3 classes. So I'm looking forward to gain some more speed out of these cars. As I did some last season, I did there a couple of laps, but as a privateer. And yeah, so I don't know, maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I can get some of these also over here, but we will see.
Well, I'm sure with the new team on board, mate, it'll only be a positive result for you with the GTs and other series that you may participate in later on. But no, well done for that.
Yeah, congrats on the result tonight, and yeah, good luck at Mosport. Shame your brother had some more trouble, so yeah, you guys
he's
need to
pretty
get him
unlucky.
sorted out. But yeah, all the best for next week, mate.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for broadcasting, and yeah, now I can relax and have a look at the races. I guess they were pretty awesome.
Good on you, mate. Well done.
Yeah, next week. Cheers.
Yep.
There you go, AC. You heard that first. He's on his way out of Powerbond Daco.
Well, it doesn't sound as if it's straightforward to that. I could hear the stuff that going on in the background. So, but yeah, we'll see what goes on in the V8 series as well. So I know he's got a good mindset, and that's not really the right thing to say there. So he's got a big interest in what goes on over at the V8s as well. So
yep.
Well, I have to say, pretty another great race. Not some of not the thrillers that we've had in the past, but I thought we were going to be on the edge of our seats with a couple of laps to go. The way Marcus was dropping time, but in the end he still held on strong, and yeah, good battle further back. Warren doing strong, and Tobias as well. So those guys probably going to be very close in the championship still. They're only a few points behind Lenderman, so I think all those guys now really starting to close in on Charles. So this championship's still very much alive for 4 or 5 drivers out there now. So let's watch this space at Mosport and see how it all pans out.
Yeah, Mosport's a great track, and as I said during the telecast, it's the race that Lenderman's been threatening to do, and just blowing the competition out of the water, and he pretty much did that tonight. I know the end result was fairly narrow, but I do believe that he was in control 99.9% of the race. Made some mistakes, we know, but if he didn't win the race, it would have been an injustice tonight, so well done to him.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Well, thank you for joining me for this one, Brenton. The PitTalkAsia.com GT Simulator Series from Virginia International Raceway sees Marcus Lenderman not only take the overall victory, but also the GT3 victory. We will be back next week for Mosport. Should be another interesting race for sure. Looks like Steve Bouquet feels pretty confident that the Corvettes are going to have the upper hand there. So tune in for that next week. Should be an exciting race.